have already introduced me, just remember my name because after my speech, you might want to remember me. When our principal ma'am told us about TEDx, that how we can share our original opinions and perspective in a speech for the world to listen. I did a little bit of research on what TEDx is about. Well, I was amazed because many of the celebrities have shared their experiences and many people have come up with brilliant ideas which were completely out of the box. To be honest, I have not done anything extraordinary in these 16 years that I can share on this platform. But suddenly, a thought came to my mind. Why not to give my personal opinion of my own experience about studying in a boarding school? I might motivate parents and the upcoming generation to continue the rituals of studying in a boarding school. Boarding school offers a student with a unique and intense educational experiences with strong emphasis on academics, extracurricular activities, and self-development. These schools typically provide the student with a structured environment that fosters independence, self-discipline, and a sense of responsibility. Well, regardless of this definitive meaning, hostel life can be a roller coaster ride. It is considered to be the best part of a student's life. Through my talk, those who have experienced it will recall their days, and those who have not will wish that they could. Hostel life provides you numerous memories to cherish forever. A student who has experienced hostel life is better off in making decisions and is often found to be more considerate and accommodating. They are also more confident in forming viewpoints about various things. Yes, leaving home and living away from your family can be challenging. When you're chasing dreams at a tender age, it becomes difficult to keep your eyes on the prize. But dreams do not wait, right? And in an age of intense competition, it is better that we start early. The decision to leave my cozy life, filled with fun distractions, was definitely not a piece of cake. But once you pass the initial hesitation, hostel life can be very fun and rewarding. It is considered like one of my roommates, they told when I came here, I was afraid to come because how will I make new friends? How will I get adjusted to the new environment? But when you step out of your comfort zone, you also step into a new one, where you learn how to make friends, widen your horizons, and challenge yourself to do those things which you have never done before. Whether you like it or not, you learn how to share too. While sharing a room with roomies is one, but it is not the only thing you share. You actually end up sharing a lot more, from food to clothes to gossips, fun, emotions, and the list is never ending. It is an experience beyond compare. Living with your peers has a lot of advantages. While one might think that gossiping, fooling around in the corridors late at night, and sharing sob stories with your friends will be on the top of our lists. But it is the group studies that turn out to be most valuable, and we only realize its importance just before the examination. Unlike at home, sitting all alone, struggling through those large stack of notes. When in hostel, you have your own group of study buddies ready to help you through those dreadful days of stress during examination. To do something, it is really important to start from somewhere. Even Lord Ram and Sri Krishna had to leave the Rajpath and had to go to Gurukul. So why can't we? As per my experience, the day I stood at the gates of this residential school, my dad came all the way from Gujarat to drop me off. Well, back in the car while I was traveling, I kept thinking, why are you leaving me here? What did I do wrong? I'll study at home. I promise I'll score 90%. Please take me back. But the journey had already begun the moment they decided to send me to a boarding school. And a whole new world opened up. New clothes, new bed sheets, new soft toys, new stationeries were the only thing that kept me motivated to join this boarding school. It took me few weeks to set off myself emotionally and get accustomed to the new environment, just as every new student at hostel does. Honestly speaking, I was an ambivert before I joined the school 3 years back. I used to be dependent on my parents for every small thing. However, the school has turned me into a bold and confident person. I can now handle my difficult situations with ease. Maybe this is because the tough boarding life teaches me to live independently and I am bound to take charge of myself. Guru Gobind Singh once said, चिड़िया से मैं बाज लड़ावा, गीदड़ को मैं शेर बनावा, एक से मैं 1.25 लाख लड़ावा. This is all I've learned here, that I am capable of anything. There are always two sides of a coin. As I live away from home, when I go back, I'm treated like a princess. My mother will prepare special dishes for me. They'll make sure that they get me my favorite stuff. I'll get to meet my siblings and enjoy with my cousins. But the moment I get back to the campus, these are the only things I miss the most. However, at the same time, I'm equally excited to get back to the campus as soon as the vacation comes to an end. I look forward to meet my friends, get involved in those various activities, and delve into the zeal of those many competitions that we have here. My life in that small dorm room with my favorite people is like a reward waiting for me. Let me tell you, I have 2 roommates. She must be laughing in the audience at the back. I have 2 roommates and their nature are totally different from mine. On an occasion, my roommate broke the rule. Well, in that matter, I also had to suffer with her only because she was my roommate. So just imagine living in a small dorm room with 3 single beds where we are sharing our sisterhood while the prefects and the head girl constantly shout out the commands to head to the dining hall for the breakfast or scolding us for not maintaining the discipline or maybe just making announcements to be followed. These were the things which were pretty difficult for me during initial days. But going with everyone to have a meal, to making someone your target to pester, or maybe talking about silly things and giggling to our heart's content, we started to realize the fun of living with our friends 24/7. Boarding school has changed my life in a way that I can't express. When it is someone's birthday and everyone is singing the birthday song at the highest pitch possible at 12 a.m. in the dorm, and suddenly you see everyone running back to their rooms just to pretend to be asleep because somebody heard the dorm parents approaching footsteps. Every morning fighting over who will take a bath first, or every Sunday getting scolded by the dorm parents for not cleaning the room properly. It's been 3 years and nothing has changed. But over time I've come to realize that all the quarrel that happened and all the scoldings that I've received has shaped me to become a better version of myself. I've also come to realize the growing emotional bond with my friends living around me in this little world. And I've also noted a certain aspect of maturity in myself. Hence, even when we quarrel, it never brings any negativity amongst us. And all the rebukes are never harsh to my ear because I know that those counsels that will eventually help me. Well, you all must be thinking that how will you recreate reels with your friends? How will you live without social media and your phone, of course? But let me ask you a simple question. Why do you need a phone when you have your friends around? Have you all not watched Harry Potter? When living in a residential school, adventures are in abundance. Yes, it is quite difficult at times to concentrate on studies in an atmosphere which is full of overexcited teenagers. And we obviously create problems for our teachers as well as for ourselves. When we were new to this hostel, my roommate and I were staring at the lists of do's and don'ts, including the hostel rules, which was hanging on the wall. We were thinking, how would it feel if we commit any of the sins mentioned in the category of don'ts? When we did, it felt like we have achieved a victory in life. But unfortunately, it didn't feel so great when we were caught. I believe that the days I've spent here have turned out to become the best phase of my life. New students may take a few days to adjust to the environment, but trust me, as I'm speaking from my own experience, soon one gets comfortable and begin a new life which can be cherished for a long time. Students get extremely pampered these days. They get whatever they wish for and are coddled by their parents who tend to over-pamper their children at times. In contrast, if they get enrolled in a hostel and begin a new life, they'll learn how to be independent and less demanding. They become aware of their daily needs and learn how to be self-sufficient. They access the habits that they indulge in and learn how to manage their own lives. It can be quite difficult at times, but it can also be quite exciting that they have found a life which is totally independent. It is funny to think that how my parents used to threaten me about sending me to a boarding school. But now I've come to realize that it has been a blessing in disguise. Many students around the world live in hostels. Hostel teaches you a lot of good things, such as teamwork, a helping mindset, a sense of sacrifice and unity, and learning how to be conscientious. It is full of excitement and opportunities. One can make friends with fellow hostelers who has different tastes and knowledge, which can be helpful in studying as well. Hostel provides you with the best atmosphere to grow as an individual. When a negligent and careless student sees their peer competing for the first position in exams, they will also try to follow them by taking others as an example. This tends to improve healthy competition and mutual cooperation among hostelers. Boarding school students report their coursework as being academically challenging and more rewarding than the day scholars. Boarders spend 17 hours per week on the homeworks and the assignments compared to day scholars who hardly spend 6 to 8 hours per week. Studies have also found that hostel life teaches a student how to deal with failure and how to move on in life. When at home with family, students have support. But when in hostel, students must face the failures by themselves. As a result, students become mentally powerful. And the most important thing that it teaches us is to adjust and let things go. As we proceed towards the end, I would like to put forward my point on how the school has shaped me into who I am today. A student who has experienced hostel life is better prepared to take up any challenge in life. I have learned how to observe and understand people and situations before taking any decisions about them. These problems have made me mature, and because of this, I have learned to listen. Grow through what you go through. Finally, this has to be one of the best reasons why one should experience hostel life. You find friends who become family. The friends you live with becomes a part of your personality, a part of who you are, and a part of a permanent family. Trust me, it is the best thing you take when you leave. Thank you.